Aunt Clara's glare could slice glass. I whispered Mom's name at dinner, barely a breath, and she locked eyes on me like I'd just summoned a demon. The chandelier flickered above us. Shadows danced across her face, and suddenly, the room was freezing. My fingers clenched around Mom's old music box in my lap. It played that soft lullaby I'd heard 1,000 times as a kid. Mia, my cousin, didn't say a word. She just stared at her plate like she hadn't heard anything, but I knew she had. Last night, I found Mom's letter in a dusty box in the attic. It was short, scared, angry. She wrote, "Clara destroyed me." Just that. My hands were still shaking when I read it again this morning. Clara had banned Mom's name when I was 10. "It's cursed," she'd snapped, like saying it out loud would bring the house down. I didn't argue back then. I was just a scared kid who missed her mom. Mia went along with it like it was normal. We both knew better, but we were just kids. The music box was all I had left. I kept it hidden under my bed. When I couldn't sleep, I'd play it and pretend Mom was right there. Last week, I hummed the lullaby out loud without thinking. Clara snapped, shattered a glass against the wall, and screamed at me to stop that goddamn noise. I lost it. Slammed my plate down, told her to back off. Uncle Dan mumbled something about me being too sensitive, but honestly, he's just a walking excuse factory. Total red herring. That night, Mia texted me out of the blue, "Meet me later." She looked freaked out when we met behind the garage. "You need to stop," she whispered. "Clara's dangerous." But I pressed her. "What do you know?" She didn't answer. Her eyes darted around like she thought Clara was watching. Then I overheard Clara on the phone, hushed voice, tense. "She's digging too deep. We need to shut this down." My blood turned to ice. I ran, heart pounding, sure someone was behind me. When I got to my room, a note was under the door. "Check the basement." Mia's handwriting. I waited until midnight, slipped out. The basement reeked of mildew and secrets. Tucked in a crawlspace, I found Mom's diary. Just a few pages left. She wrote about fear, about being gaslit, trapped, about Clara controlling everything. I barely got to read it before Clara stormed in, snatched it, and threw it in the furnace. I screamed at her. "Why are you doing this? You're unhinged." She hissed, eyes blazing. Dan dragged me upstairs and locked me in my room. "You're making trouble," he said, like this was all my fault. I sat on the floor, sobbing, music box in hand, lullaby barely audible. Then click, the door creaked open. "Mia," she whispered, "we're done hiding." Her hand trembled as she passed me a key. Next morning, we confronted Clara in the study. Mia and I stood side by side. "Tell the truth," I said, my voice shaking but steady. Clara glared at us. Cold, venomous. "You'll regret this," she snapped. My phone was recording, or at least it was, until it mysteriously shut off mid-confession. Of course, but Mia held firm. "You lied for years. No more." We didn't wait for her to spin another excuse. Mia sent voice clips, old photos, and pieces of the diary we managed to snap photos of to her friend Zoe, who happened to run a local gossip account. Within hours, Clara was viral. Her fake charity, her bullying, everything. Neighbors started asking questions. Then yelling. Clara packed up and bolted, tires screeching out of the driveway. I sat in the backyard with Mia that evening, the music box playing between us. "We did it," she whispered. "We really did." A week later, we held a memorial for Mom. Just us and the neighbors. Flowers, stories, laughter. I played the lullaby again, louder this time. Clara's voice couldn't stop me now. "Mom's name is Zara. I told them all, and I'm never going to shut up about her again. And I won't."